Akram Wadley given that opportunity in part because of the injury to Iowa starting running back Jordan Canzeri. For more on that and all things Hawkeye football, we say hello to Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz, kind enough to join us now from Iowa City. Kirk, not just Jordan, but C.J. Beathard a bit gimpy in that game as well. I know all bye weeks are enjoyable, specifically this year with your team at this point. How welcome is it to have this weekend off?
You know, we actually thought last week would have been a better time, but we were able to make it through the game. It's a real credit to our players. We had a lot of guys that weren't at 100%, and then, needless to say, a few guys that didn't make the game at all. So, you know, can't say enough about the guys that have stepped in, and then Akram Wadley, you know, was called upon during the ball game, stepped in, did a wonderful job, and Derek Mitchell helped him out as well. So we're digging deep right now, but can't say enough about the job all the guys have done stepping in there and getting it done.
Kirk, what can you tell us about the updated status of Jordan Canzeri and C.J. Beathard as well?
Well, you know, this week came at a good time, and Jordan's deal is probably a little bit more complicated because of an ankle injury, and they've ruled out fractures, those types of things. But, you know, my conclusion is sometimes you're better off having a fracture. Sprained ankles can be a little bit tricky. We're going through that with LaShawn Daniels right now. So, you know, I don't know what the timetable will be. We'll just have to play it day by day, week by week. You know, CJ is a little bit stoved up also. This week couldn't have come at a better time. I think maybe last week again would have been better, but he was able to gut it up and get through the game Saturday. We'll really take good care of him here the next 10 days and just try to get him back where he can feel good about himself and get a little spring in his step.
Chatting with Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz here on BTN Live. Kirk, Akram Wadley gets the Player of the Week nod, but that offensive line opened up some huge holes. How would you assess not only how they played on Saturday, but what they've meant to your team's success all year?
Well, you know, as a question coming into the year, we lost two very good offensive tackles and two very good defensive tackles. So those were front and center for our, you know, moving forward back in August. And the guys have done a good job in both sides of the football. The offensive line's been a little bit trickier because the two guys that we started the season with, Ike Bacher and Boone Myers, it's been gone so long I can't got to think about them. Both those guys have been injured here the last couple of weeks. So Cole Croston jumped in the Wisconsin week, did a wonderful job, and just continues to do so. And then this past weekend, Sean Welsh slid out there and played right tackle for us. So yeah, we're getting a little bit thin right now. I don't know how many more guys we've got in terms of reinforcements, but hopefully we'll get some of these players back, and you know, maybe they'll be with us next time we line up and play.
Obviously, you also lost terrific D lineman Drew Ott a week ago. Who's taken over, not just production-wise, Kirk, but in terms of the leadership that Drew was providing?
Well, you know, Parker Hesse's filled that role. He had to do that early in the season when Drew hurt his elbow. So, you know, it's like anything. You hate to see anybody get hurt, but especially a senior like Drew Ott. What a great player, what a great leader he's been. It's just very, very disappointing, very tough for all of us to deal with, and but unfortunately it's part of football. So, you know, Parker stepped in. Matt Nelson, another freshman, redshirt freshman, also is playing out there at the end position. And then to your leadership point, you know, certainly Nate Meyer is a veteran player. He's done a great job, I think, of stepping it up a little bit more. Jalil Johnson and Nate Budget, the inside, are doing a good job, first-year starters. Then going back to the offensive side, just with the injuries there, I can't say enough about the job that both Austin Blaif, our center, and then Jordan Walsh, another senior. Those two guys are both seniors. They're both experienced players, and I think they're helping hold things together for us.
Just a few more minutes with Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz here on BTN Live. Kirk, when I spoke with Desmond King about a week ago, he told me about the 6-second concept and the fact that every guy on the team is really just focused on doing their job for a short period of time. How did that concept come about?
Well, I think, you know, Nolan Richardson kind of coined it with Arkansas basketball years ago, and then Norm Parker, our outstanding defensive coordinator, really started using that as kind of a catchphrase several years ago. So this August, when I visited with the leadership group, you know, we just talked about some things that we wanted to use as focal points. And that came from the players. They brought that up, and so we've integrated that into our mantra, if you will, and it really is kind of a tribute to Norm Parker. But, you know, Norm had tremendous wisdom and unique way of saying things and putting things in real concise language, and I think that's one certainly that fits good defensive play.
Iowa Hawkeyes 7-0, can't be any better through 7 weeks, and now Kirk Ferentz and company get to enjoy the weekend off. Kirk, as always, enjoy chatting with you. Enjoy a Saturday without having to worry about winning or losing, all right?
I've got a granddaughter's birthday party, so I can't wait. Thanks, Rick.